In section 5.3, we talk about proportions, and there are only two objectives. Number one, to determine whether two pairs of numbers are proportional, and then how we solve proportions. So first of all, what are proportions? Well, when two pairs of numbers, such as 3 and 2 and 6 and 4, have the same ratio, we say they are proportional. For example, the equation 3 to 2, or 3 divided by 2, equals 6 divided by 4. That is a true statement. It states that the pairs 3 and 2 and 6 and 4 are proportional. Again, such an equation is called a proportion. In other words, we can read this as 3 to 2 is as 6 is to 4. Or 3 to 2 is as 6 to 4. In other words, when two ratios are the same, it's called a proportion. And here is a test for equality of fractions. And that is, we say that two fractions are equal if their cross products are equal. So what's a cross product? For example, if we look at this example, 3 divided by 2, or 3 to 2 is equal to 6 to 4. The cross product simply means we multiply 3 times 4. So we ask, is 3 times 4 equal to 2 times 6? Well, 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 6 is 12. So in other words, that is, these two fractions are equal. And that's what's meant by cross product. We use it quite a bit here in this section 5.3 and also in the future. So remember what a cross product is. So we're going to look at some exercises to determine whether the two pairs of numbers are proportional. And the first question is 3 and 4 and 6 and 8, are they proportional? So the question is 3 to 4 as 6 is to 8? When we take the cross product, 3 times 8, is that equal to 4 times 6? Well, 3 times 8 is 24, and 6 times 4 is also equal to 24, so the answer is yes. These two pairs of numbers are proportional. In example number 2, again we form the ratios 1 to 4, and is that equal to 10 divided by 39? Well, we take the cross product, 1 times 39. Is that equal to 4 times 10? Well, 1 times 39, of course, is 39, and 4 times 10 is 40, so the answer is no. These pairs of numbers are not proportional. When we look at the next example, 1 and 2 and 20 and 39, we look at the ratios, 1 to 2, and they ask, is that equal to 20 to 39? When we take the cross product, 1 times 39, is that equal to 2 times 20? Well, 1 times 39 is 39, and 2 times 20 is 40, and that is not true. As the previous one was not true, so here the answer is also no. These two pairs of numbers are not proportional. So once you understand the idea of a cross product, it's really quite simple to determine whether pairs of numbers are proportional or not. Let's look at the pair of numbers 6.4 and 12.8 and 5.3 and 10.6 to see if these two pairs are proportional. So we form the the ratio of 6.4 to 12.8 and ask ourselves, is that equal to 5.3 divided by 10.6? When we take the cross product, we get 6.4 times 10.6. Is that equal to 12.8 times 5.3? 6.4 is equal to 67.84, and 12.8 times 5.3 is also equal to 67.84. So the answer is yes. These two pairs of numbers are proportional. We look at the next number, pair of numbers, 6.8 and 7.4, and the other pair 3.4 and 4.2. Again, we form the ratios. 6.8 divided by 7.4, is that equal to 3.4 divided by 4.2. So we cross multiply. 6.8 times 4.2, is that equal to 7.4 times 3.4. Now 6.8 times 4.2 is equal to 28.56. Is that equal to 7.4 times 3.4? And that is equal to 25.16. And that is not the case. They're not equal. So these two pairs are not proportional. No. And then number 6, determine whether these two pairs, 4 and 2/3 and 5 1/2, and 14 and 16 1/2 are proportional. Again, we form the ratios of 14 divided by 16 1/2. Is that equal to 4 and 2/3 to 5 1/2? Actually, it's the other way around. So when we cross multiply, we have 4 and 2/3 times 16 1/2. The question is that equal to 5 and 1/2 times 14? 4 and 2/3, that's 14/3. And 16 1/2 is 33 divided by 2, and this would be 11 1/2, or 11 divided by 2, times 14 divided by 1. And this product is equal to 77, and the right-hand side is equal to 77 also. So the answer is yes. These pairs of numbers are proportional. Now we're going to do some exercises about solving proportions. In other words, it's solving an equation. So one way to solve a proportion is to use cross products. Then we can divide on both sides to get the variable alone, to isolate the variable. When we do take the cross product here, is x times 9, or 9 times x. So it's 9 times x equals 63 times 2. 63 times 2. Or dividing both sides by 9. Then we get 9x divided by 9 is equal to 63 times 2 divided by 9 times 2 divided by 9. So on the left side we have x, since the 9's cancel, and 9 goes into 60. Well, we can write 63 as 9 times 7 times 2 divided by 9. The 9's cancel, so we have 7 times 2, or x equals 14. This is a very simple way to solve equations using proportions. Here's a guided solution. It's quite similar. Solve x divided by 9 equals 5 divided by 4 and write a mixed numeral for the answer. So we have our two ratios here. X divided by 9 equals 5 divided by 4. We cross multiply. And so x times 4 is equal to 9 times 5. Then we divide both sides by 4 to isolate x. That means we have 45 divided by 4. And that's that's equal to 11 1/4. Similarly, we can solve this equation the same way by cross-multiplying. 21 times 2.5 equals 5 times n. So then we divide both sides by 5. 5 times n divided by 5 equals 21 times 2.5 divided by 5. So the 5's cancel. So on the right side we only have n. And 21 times 2.5 divided by 5. So 21 times 2.5 divided by 5 is 10.5. So n equals 10.5. So the answer here is 10.5. To solve number 10, we take the cross product. 6 times 11 equals x times 25. Then we divide both sides by 25 to isolate x. So 6 times 11 divided by 25 is equal to x times 25 divided by 25. And 6 times 11 is 66. So 66 divided by 25 equals x, or x equals 2.64. Dividing 66 by 25. Number 11 is quite similar. We cross multiply and we have 0.4 times t equals 0.9 times 4.8. Then we divide both sides by 0.4. 0.4 times t divided by 0.4 to isolate t equals 0.9 times 4.8 divided by 0.4. So now we've isolated t on the left side because the 0.4 against the 0.4 cancels. So then t equals 0.9 times 4.8 divided by 0.4, and that's equal to 10.8. With number 12, we proceed the same way. We cross multiply. So we get 8 1/3 times 3 3/4 equals x times 10 1/2. So that is 25 thirds times 15 fourths equals 21 divided by 2x, and then 25 times 15 is 375 divided by 12. 3 times 4 is 12 equals 21 divided by 2x. So now we divide both sides by 21 divided by 2. So it's on the left side we have 375 12 divided by 21 divided by 2 equals 21 divided by 2 divided by 21 divided by 2x. So on the right side we have x, and we divide a fraction by multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction, so that's equal to 375 divided by 12 times 2 divided by 21, or x is equal to 750 divided by 252, and we can factor 750 as 125 times 6, and the denominator we can factor in 42 times 6. So then x equals 125 divided by 42, because the 6 is cancelled, or as a mixed number we can write this as 2 and 41 divided by 42. So this one took a little bit longer since we had mixed numbers here, but see if you can follow this on your own. See if you can follow my steps that I took here on your own without looking, and then if you don't get it right, you can still look at the solution. So there are a few steps involved, but if you pay attention, then you'll come up with the right answer also. And this is the end of section 5.3.